So when we're going to learn about arithmetic series and sequences. And the first thing we do is sequences. And then we go to geometric series and sequences. And then we go to infinite geometric series, okay? This is a very calculator-based thing. If you understand how to use the calculator and you listen to what everything is, it's plug and chug, and it's not a big deal. So an arithmetic series, if you look at your formula sheet, this is the very first formula at the top of the page, and that's all you're using today. We're going to go in order. The next day, tomorrow, we're probably still going to use this one for do some other things, and then we're going to use both 1 and 2, and then we go to geometric, and then the last thing we do is the infinite, okay? So it'll all be separate. When you take your test, it'll be separated. It'll be arithmetic, then geometric, then infinite. So it's really easy to use this formula sheet. So an arithmetic series is a series in which we add the same amount each time. So if I have 7, 4, 1, -2, what are we doing each time to this to get to the next number? We're not going to think of subtraction. We're going to think of addition. What are we adding each time to get to the next number?
-3.
Perfect. So that would be our D. Distance between terms would be -3. To get from 7 to 4, you have to add -3. Got it? So when the numbers are going down, your D is going to be negative, and in this case, it's a -3. Any questions on that? Well, let's see. Let's say I need to find the 30th term, okay? That means that this n here would be 30. I would be looking for A30. That's what I'm looking for. Do I know A1? A1 is the first term. What is A1?
7.
Perfect. And now I need to find n. If you notice, n is here and here. Anytime an equation has the same letter in two places, it has the same value. So if I'm looking for the 30th term, n is 30 in both places. If I'm looking for the 15th term, n is 15 in both places. And that's, for some reason, some kids get confused with that. So n is 30. So if I want to find the 30th term, it would be equal to the first term plus -3 times 30 minus 1. Now, the biggest, well, aside from not knowing that n is the same in both places, that's the first mistake people make. The second mistake people make is they add the 7 and the -3, and you cannot do that, okay? You've got to key this exactly as it is into your calculator, so go. So the 30th term,
I got -83.
do it again.
I did the wrong number.
So if when you're doing a problem, it's not arithmetic, you're not adding the same thing to get to each number, you just put not arithmetic and you're done. All right?
So number 1 is not arithmetic.
And number 1, I saw on the worksheet, it's not arithmetic. So that's the answer. Number 2, you're going to say, oh, it is arithmetic. So we need to find D and then A29 or whatever they're asking for, and A1, and plug it in and figure it out, okay?
Okay.
Okay, on the second part, they're going to give you the first term and the distance between terms, which is what D is, the distance between terms. And you're going to have to find A34, okay? Well, the formula is AN equals A1 plus D times N minus 1. We know N is 34, so A34 equals A1, -37, plus 6 times 34 minus 1. Go ahead and key that in.
So do I write A34 equals 161?
I think so. The 34th term is 161. So if I were to say A1 is -37, A2 is -31, and so on. Now the other thing they ask you for in that instructions is to give the next 3 terms, okay? So the next 3 terms, if it's -37 plus 6, is -31, -25, I think, and -19. And that's the other part of the answer.
Where does it say that?